today.
Didn't machine the flywheel when they did the clutch.
Doesn't look like it, does it?
No, it looks
Looks
polishy
like
to
they
me.
just scuffed it up with some sandpaper. But look at that oil.
It's kind of
There's a lot of oil everywhere. Breather pipe's done. New airbox. Yeah, oil pressure switch is leaking. You can see it's soaking wet right there, but that's not going to account for the oil down there. Look at the oil coming out of the valve covers onto the heat exchangers. We just need to get it up and onto the stand.
great.
Okay, so the rear main seal looks like it's just pouring oil out of the bottom of it there. No way, Jose. So when I pulled the top valve cover off on the 4 through 6 cylinders, this is what we saw. It is this. And I think I found his misfire. Let's get this valve cover out of my way for the gasket. And we have rocker that has broken the top off of it. So basically cylinder 5 has not been getting any intake stroke on that cylinder. Not sure what's been happening to the fuel because that intake valve never opening and the injector squirting at full speed. Fuel's going to have been building up and certainly working its way into that cylinder eventually, just through seepage, but who knows where else it's been going. The next thing that I notice is a problem is, and I'm not sure if we can see this, if you can zoom in, looking down on cylinder 5, we can actually see what appears to be fuel dripping out of fuel and oil mix dripping out of the spark plug hole. So that cylinder is completely full of an oil and fuel mixture, and you can actually see it dripping while we're looking at it. We wiggle it. That's what's coming out of cylinder 5. Oh yeah.
Oh, we have
An
another
entire
rocker.
rocker. Oh, the shaft vibrated apart. So there's no exhaust side either.
Oh my God. Oh, it just came out. Like
Yeah.
it's sitting there somewhere else. Holy moly.
So it looks like the rocker shaft bolt snapped because the head's gone. And there's the other part of it. I can find it. Right there. And then the rocker shaft vibrated itself out. And so now I know why the rocker broke. If the exhaust valve was unable to open, then the intake valve, it was still full of compression gas, and that snapped the rocker. So my suggestion on this is heads off. We got to at least look at what's going on with that piston, and it may not have survived. And then kind of leads me to think of what's going on with that connecting rod as well. How much pressure has it been under? So yeah, I would say the cause of failure was poor service, because rocker shaft tensions are part of every major service. That would have been found at a valve adjust and rocker shaft retighten. It's vibrated its way out. It may or may not have damaged the cam box when it came out. And it'd be one of those things we just have to look at. Funnily enough, the rocker doesn't look that bad. And that caused number 5 cylinder to fill up with gas under a normal combustion. And then when it couldn't get any of that combustion pressure out, the intake valve probably could not open into that environment, and that has caused our top rocker, our intake rocker, to break off. So on the other side, other than it's pretty nasty looking inside for an older engine, mileage on this particular vehicle is open to interpretation. The clock says some things, but the engine says otherwise. I tend to believe what the engine says. I can see there's definite signs of oil leakage here in the cam box area. The fact that we got oil there, that's usually out of a rocker shaft when you see oil in on these back sections up in here. So no catastrophic failure over here that we can see. No head studs falling out, although all of that hardware is really rusty down in there. So I'm sure if we started running torque wrenches over just to see what would happen, we'd most likely break something. I don't think I'd want to run too much longer with it. So this is oil running out. A minute ago we had what looked like fuel running out of it. It was so light.
I can smell the fuel.
Yeah, depending on how long it's run, that fuel has probably made its way past the piston rings of number 5. It's been diluting the oil. Could account for a lot of the oil leaks. All right, let's take a look on the other side. A lot of oil at the back of the motor. We saw some of that was coming out from, looked like rear main seal. Front of the motor does not look horrible. I mean, a lot of corrosion, especially for a car that was supposed to have spent its life in the Southwest. I mean, this stuff, when I start seeing stuff like this is like a back east engine. Let's pull that strainer plate off, see if there's anything nasty in there. There's a bunch of bearing that comes out.
Is that strainer plate in the right spot?
Nope.
Oh, it's pretty glittery.
Pretty sparkly. It looks like this has been off recently. No big chunks. Let's go fishing. Nope, don't feel anything horrible. Oof, the smell of fuel in the oil is very overpowering. We need some smell-o-vision here. But it's, I mean, the oil that's coming out is still pretty clean. I'm not feeling anything. There were some sparkles on the sump pan, which not anything that I would say abnormal for an older engine. So there's definitely some bearing debris in there, but depending on all of that fuel's been going into cylinder 5 for as long as this thing's been running. And you can see here where that rocker shaft has just been absolutely puking oil down over the heat exchanger on the left side of the motor, or right side, depending which side you're standing on. That dilution of the oil is definitely could play a part on the bearings. It's something we'll have to talk to the owner on, how far he wants to take it and where he wants to go from this point.